While I was caring for our babies, you were coming to other women. While I was decorating for the holidays, you were coming to other women. While I was cooking meals, you were coming to other women. While I was out playing with the kids, you were coming to other women. While I was snuggling our daughters, you were coming to other women. While I was volunteering at church, you were coming to other women. While I was scrubbing your shit stains from the toilets, you were coming to other women. While I was working full-time to pay the mortgage and the bills, you were going to other women. While I was working to pay for your phone plan, you were using it and using me so you could keep going to other women. While I was working to pay for the Wi-Fi, blah, 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 I left you, blah, 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 blah. Like, Jesus Christ, like, what a fucking loser. What a fucking loser. If you can't go out there and get pussy, dude, and, like, good quality pussy, too, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Hello there, welcome to Advice Clucks. This is April Clucks' second channel. I feel like instead of just posting one video every 7 months, because they do take a while, to make, I might create a second channel in which I can have more frequent uploads and hotter takes, perhaps. Ones that I'm not wanting to dedicate an entire video to, but, you know, that I think is still valuable, and videos that are, you know, less edited, more conversational, because I feel like people enjoy seeing the content that I make, and I feel bad posting one video every 7 months. And it also kind of helps me with not going fucking insane, because posting a video every 7 months makes me insane. Who would have guessed it? But this concept that I'm going to be talking about today is something that I've been thinking about for a while. Recently. Have been thinking about for a while, but mostly of recent late. Coming across this subreddit called r/love after porn. And it is horrific. It's tragic. Here we go. We got this. Is this the Truman Show? The most ugly consequences of his PA, porn addiction. Secretly despising other women, being jealous of them, and constantly comparing myself with them. And I randomly made a female friend. Yes, this is huge for me, lol. That I actually like. So that's a red flag. You know, what's wrong with females? What's wrong with women? There's nothing wrong with women. Is she absolutely gorgeous? Most definitely. Is she cuter, prettier, hotter than me? Why? I don't think you should be thinking of friends like that, dude. That's a friend. Absolutely. Does she have gigantic breast implants? Whew, hey, I'm trying to make me some friends. Hey, I'm trying to make me some friends like that. Where can I find a friend like that? I'm trying to make me some. Where can I find a friend like that? Positively. Do I genuinely like her and think her personality is absolutely awesome and adorable? Does she make me laugh and seem super friendly? Yup. Did she just casually tell me by text she has an OnlyFans and used to do porn? Yeah, about that. Fuck that shit. You know, not able to say whatever her life right. Fuck coming up with some lame ass excuse to cancel our scheduled dinner at my house simply because I cannot have her near PA ever. I like that the what is it, husband or partner maybe? The vibe is husband. It would be awful if Jesus. Yeah, so if it's a husband and you're dehumanizing him just by hitting him with the PA, calling bro PA, then it's not looking very good for your marriage. But if you're just in a relationship and you're posting on a subreddit called r/love after porn and detailing how you're not able to connect with people, you're not able to make friends with women, and you're obsessed with how they look, then I think the problem is probably coming from within. And I do maybe have a solution for you. Whether or not you want to hear it, I don't know. But listen on. If Floozy with a Newsy is watching my video, which I doubt she is, then listen on. Okay, I got an answer for you. Fuck making friends at all. I give up. I'll always end up competing with them. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I was losing against every type of woman imaginable as long as they had bigger tits than me, which most grown women do anyway. Fuck balling my ass out over this shit like this again. Fuck my disgusting uneven A-cups. Fuck my weird body composition and my narrow hips and my awkward face. And fuck my insecurities and fuck my almost comically pathetic life. Fuck not being able to live like a normal adult or make any fucking friend I want because 3 years ago I met a deceptive loser who couldn't keep his hand off his dick or his eyes on me. Whoa, I have a child with this man and I feel nauseous every time I realize this is such a nightmare. I'm so alone. Oh. Yeah, so this whole subreddit, incredibly depressing. It's a lot of people whose partners have porn addictions, which I guess, I'm not sure exactly what they're defining as porn addiction, but I suppose any instance from reading through this, I think any instance of a partner deceptively watching porn, deceptively consuming porn, deceptively gooning and not telling, to me, I think that's probably, there's like a porn addiction. There is some stories here of like real porn addictions, but also probably someone just like jacking off without telling their partner. Maybe their partner has expressed to them that they're uncomfortable with that. And I mean, even anecdotally as a woman myself, yes, confirmed I am a woman, beating the allegations there. Even as a woman myself, anecdotally, I myself have also, as maybe perhaps a unique perspective on it, which is someone who has had a porn addiction in the past, and cannot let myself fall back into that, and who also has had partners who have watched porn who I have been uncomfortable with it, and also have existing in spaces with friends who, most of the majority of female friends that I've had have expressed that they're not comfortable with porn. And for the ones who have said that they're comfortable with it, it's cope. It's cope because their partners it's just not, there's nothing there. There's no communication. They're not happy with each other. They're not like traveling the world, fucking killing it goals wise, building a business. Like there's nothing like that. It's like the bro works retail, she's a receptionist. They aren't having good sex. I know they're not having good sex. So yeah, so you're just you're in this, there's this like interesting dynamic, and it is tragic to read these stories here, and it's also tragic to exist in a world where you have to, porn is available and it is incredibly enticing, and there's like it's like maybe there's like multiple points here that I want to explore, which is one, that what is porn inherently negative? What is wrong with porn? What does porn take away from a relationship? How does it affect it? And then, I mean, there's those two separate things. One, how does porn affect a relationship? Does it affect a relationship? Can it exist without affecting a relationship? And then two, is it inherently negative? And I think I have a very particular, maybe like a unique take on this because of being someone who was addicted to porn, and who has been in relationships where I've felt affected by it, and then additionally it has affected my relationship and my standing with someone else. So yeah, let's get into it. So I think I'll probably start with whether or not porn itself is inherently bad. In a vacuum, coming, like masturbating, there's nothing wrong with that at all, in my opinion. It's not, like people are like, oh, you got to save your seed, the like tradcath take of you have to, don't spill your seed and it's, a sin or whatever. We're beyond that now. We're beyond like just needing to reproduce probably as a species. And it's also, it can be very healing. Like masturbation can be very healing for yourself as an individual. Reconnecting to your body, having a mind-muscle connection. Yeah, the big old muscle down there. That's fine. That's actually beautiful. It's very healing. Particularly for people that have experienced, sexual trauma. People that need to recenter in themselves. Very, very healing. And that is in a vacuum with no visual stimuli, just using your ability to sense. So if you're capable of, think about like a monkey jacking off. It's not looking at like tits or what, monkeys will just kind of like touch themselves and be like, well, this feels great. And that's probably fine. That's probably based. The introduction of stimulus can create associations. So for example, you got, dudes that fuck couches, women fucking hairbrushes, women, fucking pillows. And there is proof that you can make associations, sexual associations, and then intimate associations to things through masturbating and coming to it. You can make associations with many things. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual. It can just lead to that kind of final dopamine release. And you can kind of use sex and coming as, a kind of like a habits building thing if you're intelligent enough. So because it's that release is one of the most powerful things. It's one of the most powerful tools that we have access to. It's so motivating to come, incredibly motivating to come. So the use of stimuli, the use of stimulus, is not bad inherently. No. I think it's when you add more layers on top of this. So you have this desire to come. How do you get there? How do you get to coming? If you use masturbation as a tool to build centeredness in yourself, then that can be a massive tool. Just having like a meditative experience alone, using only your senses and really connecting with yourself is an incredible way to reassociate. It's an incredible way to build mindfulness. Okay, so then like what stimulus is going to be as base as that? Stimulus that, like a visual stimulus. It's kind of like you watch a movie. Yeah, watch a movie and you are immersed, that immersion. That completely, think about when you're jacking off, like you're not thinking about the fact that you're touching your cock, or, rubbing one out or whatever. If you're watching something, we aren't very aware of ourselves usually in that moment. And so it's not so much, it's like losing out on on a higher level connection with the self, perhaps. So that's something to think about. I don't think I wouldn't like necessarily shame people for wanting to not wanting to do that. I think it's like any self-help stuff. The people that do that or that are interested in that stuff are going to benefit massively. The people that aren't. But I share this so that maybe some people can gain some insight and level up a little bit. If you want to keep gooning on Reddit, also that's totally your decision. I don't give a fuck. But if we think about the context of a relationship, or even just the context of dating in general, if you use this like primal motivating force and you waste that because you can't, you're not just like endlessly horny all day. You've only got like a limited amount of time, limited amount of jizz or female cum, which is not a myth. You've only got like a limited amount of that. So, spend it wisely. If you're in the context of a relationship, if you are trying to date and you're jacking it all the fucking time, it's not like you're not getting comfortable in your body. You are disassociating away. You're actually getting further from centeredness. And if you're in a relationship, so that's for dating, right? If you're just jacking it, you're getting way further from centeredness. And centeredness, if you're single, just in general, but if you're single and you're trying to date and you have like a real self, like a connection with your body, then when you go into intimate connections with people, it's going to be way better. You're going to be able to communicate what you're interested in, sense-wise, touch-wise. I would recommend getting into Tantra. If you're like not really sure, you're like, oh no, but I need to like watch porn to know what to do, I would fully recommend getting into Tantra, reading some books on Tantra. It's incredibly helpful. They've been doing this shit since way before screens. So I need porn to learn or whatever. It's like it's cope. So in the context of a relationship, which is, you are entering into the duality with someone, they require a give and a take. And it's a passing in the back and forth of support, love, energy, respect, comfort, and then two people grow in that way. If you introduce societal pressures and time sinks, such as working full time, and you know, people know there's like something. It's like, what is it? Something like 70% of the things that you do in your day to day work life don't actually contribute towards, like, that's actually not efficient. Like, apparently, I don't know why I read that, and I'm not going to get it up, but our day-to-day work life is like actually very inefficient. Like, we don't like constantly on the ball, unless you're on meth. Even then, you know. So you don't have a lot of time to do the stuff that you need to do. But you also have all the time in the world, we're using it inefficiently. That's the thing. So let's say you're like tired and you come home from work, and your wife's there, and you're like, you know, I just today, you know, I'll crank one out, and you know, tomorrow, like when I'm less tired on the weekend or something, because you have the luxury of being able to do that because of modernity, right? But you don't even choose to go down the path of, I'm going to do some centeredness here. And on top of that, it's like you probably don't even know that you and your wife can do that together, you and your partner, whatever. You have access, that's accessible. You guys don't have to actually fuck. If you're feeling lazy, tired, worn out, but you still want to crank one out, then it's like laying together and becoming centered in each other separately. You know, mutual masturbation's very healing process, very healing thing, very, very good. And then that duality that you've agreed to enter into stays a duality, and you say a team, you say a partnership. But that's not going to be as incredible. You're probably not going to come as hard as you did, or as you would if you know, cranked one out on Reddit. And I quit porn for 1.5 years, and I did actually relapse recently after some struggles in my personal life. And the feeling of using porn after not for so long was like heroin, like the heroin comparison. Like I've been very centered, and there's been like, since quitting, it's been like a gradual slope upwards of how good climaxing has become, and the mental processes and like the association, because I'd been like a porn addict for fucking years. And so like, yeah, like, you know, the slope upwards of it getting better, like, took a long time, because there's so many processes in your head that you have to get rid of. So as soon as I relapsed, it was like mind blowing. You know, yeah, like heroin. Like, it should not be that good. It should never be that good for anyone. Never. I want to pee. So yeah, it was incredible. It was I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I remember, this is good. I can't believe I ever forgot that. But what I noticed immediately was being lethargic, being way less interested in doing anything else. Like, immediately, like, just kind of having a little voice in the back of my head and being like, I could, you know, it's like that kind of gets back into your head. Because it is so incredible, and it's a trade-off, really. I think it's a massive trade-off, because having stopped that, I definitely found myself being way more motivated to present better, you know, to like really like step into myself and my own energy, and to want to present that energy to other people, and, you know, connect with people, like really like speak with people and be present. And I do think that it's not porn itself that is bad. It is what you lose truly when you leave the key in the lock that is your ultimate motivator, which is sex and coming. So I've been thinking about, you know, what would be these, you know, r/love after porn, like, what's the solution here for these people? And it's probably, I don't know, I feel like my brain's just like, maybe these people just try something more of like an open relationship style, you know? If you're so depressed and you're suffering so hard over, your partner, your husband, whatever, wanting to use porn, then fuck it, throw an open relationship on the table, Because what's happening is they're like, oh, I feel so bad, I hate myself, I hate my body. And instead of their husband or partner or whatever motivating them to make some change, they are turning inwards, right? Expecting that the answer is going to come from them. But I'll tell you what, open relationship, okay? You got this porn addict husband or whatever, porn addict boyfriend that you got a kid with. Either you leave them, which you aren't, and you're choosing to post on Reddit instead of that, or you improve, and you without getting him involved at all, without communicating to him that he needs to change, without him deciding and agreeing that he needs to change and needs to better himself, you start improving, which is, you're not motivated to change. It's like maybe you've already tried or whatever, or you discuss opening the relationship, and your motivation to get healthy, looks max, whatever, is through your connections, your intimate connections with other people. And I think some people will probably disagree with that, because the initial response to anything other than monogamy is like, no, like I could never imagine myself with someone else. I could never imagine my partner with anyone else. That would really hurt me. But there is indeed a world in which you free yourself from that. And I'm not like non-monogamous myself at this current time. But I have seen the benefit of that in, I guess, in a world where a relationship has tenure and two people have been together for a really long time, and they have, just like no one's able to stay on top of the ball. No one can stay on top of everything in a relationship for a long period of time. Life gets, in between projects, in like a building phase as an individual in like a project or whatever, things can get quite repetitive, and there's a grind, Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill or whatever. And then during that time, there's not a lot of excitement, not a lot of freshness. There's not like a big release moment in your life. You're building towards that. And that's when, mental health can struggle. That's when people can get in terrible moods, and people don't really feel sexy during that phase. And I would much rather my partner harness that beautiful, incredible, special power that they have, that I too was unfortunately cursed with, which is horniness, that incredible motivator, that I would rather they had that than didn't have. I'd rather they harness that for going further than jacking it and using that to experience deep, intimate connections with people. Because in order to get to that point of having deep, intimate connections with people, there's so many life skills, so many interpersonal skills, such a sense of self that needs to be developed before they get that. And it becomes valuable, And I think there can be like a depressive shame spiral that people fall down into when they think their only option is, okay, I'm just going to like secretly jack off in the bathroom and I'm going to tell my wife and blah, blah, And then their life, like nothing improves. Their life, they don't get better. They don't, gain skills. They don't gain a sense of self. They don't grow as people. Where I just would much rather myself and my partner, if, and this would be like husband, I think this would be like long-term relationship. Kids are involved type vibe, they're in high school or whatever, and where it's monotony. I would find it incredibly cringe if my long-term partner was watching porn, because they gain nothing from that. And it would be so exciting and so cool and so hot if they were pulling like cool people. It'd be fucking sick. I have experienced that in the past, and it does like maintain that level of respect. And then also your partner, like there's, in the if you have like a professional life and you're growing and building, like I said, that can become repetitive. So I don't know. It's a sense of self thing, and there are so many incredible and interesting people out there, and you don't need to fuck all of them, but there is definitely a different shift in interactions with people in public where you can't be intimate with them because you're in a monogamous relationship. There is like a limiting factor, which is fine. Like that's totally fine. I don't think I'm missing out on anything. But yeah, my most important things, the things that I value in a relationship are growth in conflict, and two individuals who are growing as people, and who are able to be magnetic, and who people are excited to be around, and who can teach and be a source of knowledge, information, and what better way to continue growing as a person than deep, beautiful, and intimate connections with someone. And then you're not on r/love after porn saying, where is it? What's like the top one is really depressing. Yeah, while I was caring for our babies, you were coming to other women. While I was decorating for the holidays, you were coming to other women. While I was cooking meals, you were coming to other women. While I was out playing with the kids, you were coming to other women. While I was snuggling our daughters, you were coming to other women. While I was volunteering at church, you were coming to other women. While I was scrubbing your shit stains from the toilets, you were coming to other women. While I was working full-time to pay the mortgage and the bills, you were coming to other women. While I was working to pay for your phone plan, you were using it and using me so you could keep coming to other women. While I was working to pay for the Wi-Fi, blah, 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 I left you, blah, 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 blah. Like, Jesus Christ, like, what a fucking loser. What a fucking loser. If you can't go out there and get pussy, dude, and, like, good quality pussy, too, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, thank you. Feel free to like and subscribe. Also, part of this channel would be, motivating people to enter discussion in the comments. So feel free to join. Feel free to join the comments. Do you think I'm insane? Am I spouting some shit? Drop your favorite book, your favorite book, tantric sex, recos. And as always, stay clucky. I've never said that in my life.